In this video, we will learn about the human male reproductive system. So the male reproductive system in human beings consists of primary reproductive organ, which is testis. Okay, so testis is our primary reproductive organ in male. Now there are some associated ducts which are vas efferents, epididymis, and vas deferens. Now the accessory reproductive organs include penis and urethra. Okay. Now, accessory reproductive gland include seminal vesicle, as you can see over here, prostate gland over here, and Cowper's gland. Okay. Now, testes or testicle, which are the primary reproductive organs. Now, each testis is oval in structure and it is 4 to 5 centimeter long and have a 10 to 12 grams of weight in an adult human male. Now they are extra abdominal, which is they are situated outside the abdomen cavity. Now they lie in the fold of loose skin called scrotum or scrotal sac that lies in the inguinal region at the base of the penis. Okay. Now the cavity of the scrotum is divided into two compartments by a muscular septum. Now one testis lie in each of the compartment. Okay, and they are suspended in the scrotum with the help of spermatic cord. Okay, now in embryo, testis will remain inside the abdomen cavity, so we call it intra-abdominal. Okay, but they descend into the scrotum shortly before the birth. Okay, and extra knowledge is if they do not descend, then we do the surgery so that they can descend. Okay. Now, when present outside the abdomen cavity, they are called extra-abdominal, okay, as the name suggests. Now, in case testes fail to descend into scrotum, they fail to produce sperm and lead to sterility. Okay, this is because for the production of sperm, we need adequate temperature, which is less than the average body temperature. Okay, so if they are not going to descend over here, then the temperature will not be suitable for making the sperm. Hence, the male will become sterile. Now, structure of testis. So, as you can see the TS over here, each testis is divided into 200 to 300 compartment which are known as testicular lobules. Okay. Now, in each lobule, you will see seminiferous tubule and interstitial cells. So, these are interstitial cells. Okay. Now, what are seminiferous tubule? So, in each lobule, there are 1 to 3 tightly coiled fine tubules which are called seminiferous tubule. Now, the function of the seminiferous tubule basically is the formation of sperm. Okay. Now, the process which it undergoes is spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis basically means formation of sperm. Now, the developing sperm will be attached to these structures which are known as Sertoli cells. Okay. Now, these Sertoli cells will nourish and protect the developing sperms. Okay. Now, interstitial cells or Leydig cells. So, the cells outside over here you can see are interstitial cells. Now, these are group of rounded cells present in the connective tissue, which is this tissue over here. Between the seminiferous tubules are called interstitial cells. Okay, this is one seminiferous tubule. There might be another over here, and the cells between them in the connective tissue over here in the interstitial space over here are called the Leydig cell or the interstitial cell. Okay, now they help in the production of the sex hormone, which is testosterone. Okay, now it regulate the maintenance of the primary and secondary sexual characters in male, which is this hormone, which is testosterone, which is secreted by the interstitial cells. Now, what are the functions of testis? So, this is our testis, and the function of this testis basically is the production of sperm and secretion of male sex hormone, which is testosterone. Okay. Now, as you can see, these are the highly coiled or tightly coiled seminiferous tubule. This is complete a testis, and these are basically testicular lobules. Okay. Now, associated ducts. First is vas efferents. Basically, these are fine tubes, okay, or efferent ducts which arise from the testis. As you can see, the ducts which are arising from the testis, Okay. Now, what is their function is they conduct the sperm into the epididymis. This is epididymis. Okay. So, the function of vas efferents basically is the conduction of sperm from testis to epididymis. Okay. Now, the number may vary from 12 to 14. Okay. Now, spermatogenesis. Basically, it is the production and maturation of sperm. Okay. Now, in animals, mostly it is occurring in breeding season. Okay. But in man, it begins at puberty. Okay. And will continue till the old age. Okay. Now, temperature regulation of the scrotum or the scrotal sac, which is this part. Now, it acts as a thermoregulator. Thermal means heat, or I can say the temperature, and regulator means maintenance. Okay. Now, which means that it will maintain the temperature. Now, temperature in the scrotum will remain 2 to 3 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature, which is suitable for the maturation of sperm. Now, our normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Now, the temperature of the scrotum will be 35 or 34 degrees Celsius. Okay. The temperature in the scrotum is regulated through the movement of its wall, that are these walls. Okay. Now, when it is too hot, the skin of the scrotum will loose and the testis will hang down away from the body. When it is too cold, the skin of the scrotum contracts and become wrinkled and draws the testis close to the pelvic cavity. Okay, being close to the body, the testis will remain warm. Okay, because in winters the outside temperature is less than the body temperature. Hence, they will go towards the body so that the temperature, which is 34 or 35 degrees Celsius, can be maintained. Okay, but in summers, body is too hot, so they will descend somewhat downwards. Now, the length of seminiferous tubule. So, each seminiferous tubule in human males is about 500 millimeters in length. Okay. Now, the combined length of all the seminiferous tubule is about 200 to 400 meters. Okay. That is why it can accumulate, because it is tightly coiled, as you saw in the diagram. Okay. Now, epididymis. So, basically, it is again a tightly coiled structure which is 6 meter long. Okay. And is enclosed in a fibrous covering. It consists of three parts: the head of the epididymis, then we have the body of the epididymis, and then we have the tail end of the epididymis, which is known as cauda. Okay. And the head is known as caput, but it is of no use in your class level. Okay. Now, the head of the epididymis forms a cap on the upper end of the testis and is connected with the seminiferous tubules via vas efferens or vasa efferentia. Okay. Now, the body or middle epididymis extends along the side of the testis like this. Now, the tail or cauda epididymis is connected via vas deferens, okay, which is also known as sperm duct. Now, the function of epididymis, basically, this coil has the functions of storing the sperm until they will attain their maturity. Second is the transportation of sperm from the testis to vas deferens. Okay. Now, it also contribute to the seminal fluid. Okay, you will learn more about this later on in this video. Now, vas deferens, basically vasa differentia is the plural of vas deferens. Now, each vas deferens or sperm duct arises from the tail end of the epididymis and enters the abdominal cavity through the inguinal canal. Okay, as you can see in the diagram, this is epididymis and this is vas deferens or the sperm duct. Okay, now it passes over the urinary bladder, as you can see in the diagram as well, and joins the duct of the seminal vesicle to form the ejaculatory duct. As you can see over here, this is the ejaculatory duct. Now, the ejaculatory duct is 2 centimeter long and opens into this urethra. Now, accessory reproductive organ, penis. So, it is the copulatory organ in males and serves to deposit the sperm in the vagina of female. Now, it lies just in front of the scrotum, as you can see in the diagram, and it is cylindrical, muscular, spongy, and highly vascular organ. Okay. Now, during sexual excitement, the spongy tissue gets filled with blood, making the penis erect and stiff. Urethra, which is this tube or duct, is a narrow duct which passes through the penis. Now it serves as a common passage for the flow of urine as well as semen, because this is our urinary bladder which contribute to the urine. Okay, and this is basically our sperm duct which contribute to the sperm. So it is a common passage for both urine and semen. Now accessory reproductive gland. Now first is seminal vesicle. Basically it is a paired gland. Okay, now convoluted thin walled gland present at the base of the urinary bladder. So this is our bladder and this is seminal vesicle. Okay, at the base of it, above this prostate gland. Now they secrete an alkaline and sugary fluid into the ejaculatory duct. Okay, now this is called seminal fluid. Now the seminal fluid forms 60% part of the semen. It contains fructose sugar that provide nourishment to the sperm during their journey through the female genital tract. Second is the prostate gland, as you can see over here. Now it is basically a bilobed gland and present at the base of the urinary bladder. Now it secretes thin milky alkaline fluid, okay, into the urethra, which forms the 30% part of the semen. Okay, 60% was secreted by seminal vesicle and 30% is secreted by prostate gland. Now the function of this is the alkalinity of the prostatic fluid provides a protective environment for the sperm in the vagina of female, so that it keeps the sperm alive and help them to swim actively. Third is the Cowper's gland. Okay, basically the Cowper's or the bulbourethral gland are two small ovoid gland that lie below the prostate gland, somewhere over here. Okay, now they are the size of a pea, okay, and open into the urethra just before it enters the penis. Now their alkaline secretion serves as a lubricant for the lining of the urethra as well as the end of the penis. Okay, now what you learned is that the seminal vesicle and the bulbourethral gland are paired, whereas prostate is a single gland. Okay, I hope this topic is clear to you. Thank you.